Hi friends, this is Jayaprakash from APTWRJC Boys Seethampeta in Srikakulam district. We played cricket, volleyball, football, kabaddi, kho-kho. Every games and sports contains of some rules and regulations. We want to run an institute or organization, we follow some rules and regulations. Like that, one book contains of some rules and regulations, rights and duties. Some provisions are assigned for the smooth running of government. That particular book is called as Constitution. Yes, today we are going to learn about our Indian Constitution. First, we know about the definition of Indian Constitution. The powers and functions of state is equal to the rights and duties of citizens is called as Constitution. The next definition of Indian Constitution is, the main thing is that the relationship between the citizens and the government is called as Constitution. Okay, every constitution of a country have their certain special features based upon historical, political, economical and traditional conditions. These the factors were influenced to the making of Constitution. These are all the aspects are contributed to making of Indian Constitution. Okay, we are know about the salient features of Indian Constitution. The main characteristics of Indian Constitution, the first salient feature is a lengthy and written document, a combination of rigidity and flexibility, quasi-federal polity, republican form of government, parliamentary form of government, and fundamental rights and fundamental duties, single citizenship, universal adult franchise, secular state and independent judiciary, direct to principles of state policy, bicameral justice system, panchayati raj system. These 13 are treated as salient features of Indian Constitution. Okay, we discuss about the first one, a lengthy and written document. The writers of our Indian Constitution made our Constitution as book can be read, unlike the Britain Constitution. The Britain Constitution is unwritten Constitution. Unwritten means the Constitution depends upon the traditions and cultures of Britain. In the time of inauguration of our Constitution, contains of only 395 articles with 8 schedules. It is divided into 22 parts. But now our Constitution contains of 448 articles with 12 schedules. It is running up to 300 pages. Main characteristics of Indian Constitution is adopted from the world Constitution. For example, fundamental rights are adopted from the Constitution of USA, and direct to principles of state policy is adopted from the Constitution of Irish. Preamble, fraternity, equality, liberty, these all aspects are adopted from the Constitution of French. That's why the Constitution is so lengthiest Constitution in the world. The symbol of our Constitution is also elephant. The next one, a combination of rigidity and flexibility. The Constitution of India is balanced to the rigidity and flexibility as the situation demands. Enough pragmatic provided the rigidity and flexibility. Amending procedure is referred by the article number 368 in our Constitution. So far, Indian Constitution got 122 times were amended our Constitution till today. By the observing of amending procedures, we can simply say the Constitution is rigid or flexible Constitution. And amending procedures is divided into 3 types. Those are simple majority of the parliament and special majority of the parliament, by the special majority of the parliament with state ratification. Okay, first one, by the simple majority of the parliament. Amending procedure in this category, every bill agreed by the simple majority in the house, number of members were attended and voting for the particular bill, and before it is sent for the assent of President of India. By this provision, we will amend the concept. Those are election of creation of councils in state and reorganizations of states, and salary allowances of constitutional bodies, means president, vice president and Supreme Court judges and High Court judges. The next provision, by the special majority of the parliament. In the special majority of the parliament, every bill should got 2/3 majority in the parliament, and all the 2/3 majority members gave their assent to the particular bill. By this provision, we will amended the concepts of fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. The next provision, by this special majority of the parliament with state ratification. The same thing, the last we discussed, by the special majority of the parliament, 2/3 majority of the members were agreed on this bill, and half of the states in our country is agreed the particular bill on their respected state legislature. By this provision, we will amended the concept, those are election of president and matter were relating to union and state division of powers into centralist, state list and concurrent list. The next, this is a combination of rigidity and flexibility. The next one, a quasi-federal polity. If the powers are distributed among the union and state, that situation is called as federal. If the powers are vested with the hands of union, that is called as unitary. Our constitution is federal, that's why the powers are distributed among union and state, and three lists, those are central list, state list and concurrent list. But most of the powers are exercised by central list. Central list exercises 100 powers and state list exercises 62 powers, concurrent list exercises 52 powers. Most of the important and precarious powers are exercised by the central. That's why the constitution is called as unitary. The Constitution of India is unitary, a federal in form and unitary in spirit. Okay, see the features of unitary and federal. First, features of federal: written constitution, rigid constitution, and independence of judiciary and supremacy of the constitution, division of powers. These are the features of federal, and as well as the features of unitary: single citizenship, single constitution, override on the state matters, and in time of emergencies. Emergencies are divided into three types, those are 352, 356 and 360. National emergency, constitutional emergency and financial emergency. In these three types of emergencies, the federal feature became unitary, and central can override on the state matters. And governors were appointed by the central. K.C. Ware was well-known, attributed and well-known authority in federalism. He was preferred to call this arrangement as quasi-federal polity. The next one is republican form of government. Unlike our colonial master, we adopted the republican form of government. Here I would like to clarify one doubt to all of us. Do you think all the democracies are republics? Yes, all the democracies are not republics. How do you say all the democracies are not republics? Yes, for example, we taken Britain. Britain is one of the largest democratic country in the world, but it is not a republican state. How do you say Britain is a not republican state? Yes, the head of the nation of British assume his office through by the hereditary principles and monarchical principles. That's why that country is called as not republican state. How do you say ours is republican state? Yes, all the public office are open to all eligible citizens to exercise, and there is no place for hereditary principles. And also our head of the nation assume his office through by elections, means of electoral college, in the method of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. The next salient feature is relating to our parliament, that is parliamentary form of government. We adopted the parliamentary form of government like British type with an elected president of Irish model. And there is another strong reason to adopt the parliamentary form of government in place of the presidential form of government. In a dispartial society like in India, it is a better way to go for the parliamentary form of government in place of the presidential form of government. In parliamentary form of government, the powers has distributed among the several ministers to exercise their powers and gave their concerned ministries. In presidential form of government, the powers are vested within a single hand, and the powers are not distributed among the several ministers. That's why this is the main reason to adopt the parliamentary form of government in place of the presidential form of government. The next salient feature is relating, or that is main to every individual, that is fundamental rights and fundamental duties. The fundamental rights is treated as the basic human rights. It is given to every individual in our country. The fundamental rights were existed in part 3 in our constitution from article number 12 to 35, and fundamental rights is divided into 6 types. Those are right to equality, right to freedom, and right to against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, and cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. Right to property. The right to property is also fundamental right, but in 1978 by the 44th constitutional amendment, the right to property is abolished from the fundamental right. Now the right to property is existed in legal rights, as well as right to fundamental duties. The fundamental duties incorporated through by the 42nd constitutional amendment in our constitution, those are existed in part 4 in article number 51. For example, for fundamental duties is to respect our national flag, to respect our national anthem, and to respect our national leaders. The next salient feature, 8th salient feature, is single citizenship. As well as all the federal states are exercises the dual citizenship, but India is in federal in form. They are introducing the single citizenship. For example, we taken the USA. USA is a federal provision. That's why they are exercises the dual citizenship. For example, if the citizen belongs to Washington DC, he should be treated as a citizen of Washington DC and also a citizen of USA. But in India it is different, irrespective of their state and irrespective of their reason. They are treated as a citizen of India, and they enjoy all types of rights and privileges without a discrimination, and all they are enjoys in all types of rights and privileges in all parts of in our country. This is called single citizenship. The next salient feature is universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise is referred by the article number 326. Universal adult franchise nothing but right to vote. One who complete 18 years of age, he should given right to vote without of his discrimination by caste, creed, color, gender and wealth. It enhances the self-respect. It enhances the self-respect for the common people and prestige for the common people by the lay down of this one person, one vote for one value. Universal adult franchise is completed. The next one, secular state. India is multi-dimensional religious country. That's why we adopted the secular state feature. In secular state feature, all the religions are equal in the eyes of law, and there is no official religion to the state. And Indian Constitution is abolished the communal representation. Communal representation means the seats were allotted on the basis of religion It is an ensure the advocate representation to SCs and STs for protect their interests. By the 62nd constitutional amendment, there is a combined national commissions for STs and SCs to protect their interests. But in 1990s, but in 2002, again the government of India introduced two separate commissions for SC and STs to protect their interests of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people. Independent judiciary system. Independency of judiciary system is occupied the predominant role to the judiciary section. It is a necessity to safeguard. It is a necessity to safeguard the rights and privileges of the common people, and it is prevent the encroachment of what? It is prevent the encroachment of legislatures and executives to common people. And independency of judiciary system is protected the supremacy of the constitution, and the Supreme Court has power to declare what? The Supreme Court has power to declare the null and voids and ultra voids in the time of unconstitutional enactment made by Parliament. And all courts of India, all courts of India are loyal to and worked under the supervisions of Supreme Court. Directive principles of state policy. The directive principles of state policy have equal status with fundamental rights. That's why the directive principles of state policy incorporated in part 4 from article number 36 to 51. The directive principles of state policy is borrowed from the constitution of Irish, and directive principles of state policy only the directive principles of state policy is directive to the state governments and central government. Any responsible government does not ignore the directive principles of state policy. And directive principles of state policy is divided into three types. Those are socio-economical principles, liberal and intellectual principles, and Gandhian principles. The first one, socio and economical principles. Socio and economical principles, some are come under the socio-economical principles. Those are protected adult and child labor, equal pay, equal work, and the next, this is socio-economical principles. The next one is liberal and intellectual principles. Liberal and intellectual principles, some provision are come under the liberal and intellectual principles. Those are protect our environment and protect the wildlife and forests, to protect the free and compulsory education to children who are the 14 years of age. And the last one is Gandhian principles. Gandhian principles are laid down on the views based on the Gandhiji. Those are promotion of local self-governing system, organization of Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system by the promotion of local self-governing system. The next one is promotion of cottage industries in rural areas, and prohibited the intoxicated drinks, means prohibited the herak and alcohol consumption. These they treated as the directive principles of state policy. The 12th silent feature of Indian Constitution is bicameral judge system. Indian Constitution is introduced the bicameral judge system at national level. That's why our parliament consists of two houses. Those are called as Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is called as lower house, and Lok Sabha members is directly representative of the people, and Rajya Sabha is also known as an upper house. Members of Rajya Sabha is elected on the interests of the states, and Rajya Sabha is also known as House of Intellectuals. Now our Rajya Sabha is contains of 250 members, and Lok Sabha is contains of 443 members in now our parliament. And Indian constitution is also introduced the bicameral justice system at national level. Only 7 states are followed the bicameral justice system on their legislative assemblies. Those are, first one, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Telangana, Karnataka. These are some examples to follow the bicameral justice system on their state legislature. This is called bicameral justice system. Bicameral justice system means when the when the state legislature or the parliament followed the dual house system, that is called bicameral justice system and bicameral justice legislature. The 14th salient feature and final salient feature is Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system. By the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment, we gave the recognition to local self-governing system by Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system. This type of Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system would not be found at any other constitutions in the world. We the first people gave the recognition to Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system in our constitution. And local self-governing system is divided into 2 types. Those are urban local self-government and rural local self-government. Rural local self-government is divided into 3 types. Those are Gram Panchayatis, Mandal Parishad and Jilla Parishad. Gram Panchayatis is consists of president, means Sarpanch, and then Mandal Parishad is consists of MPTCs. MPTCs means Mandal Parishad territorial constituencies, and Jilla Parishad consists of ZPTCs. ZPTCs means Jilla Parishad territorial constituencies. As well as rural local self-government. Rural local self-government is consists of also 3 organs. Those are wards, municipalities and corporations. Wards consists of ward members, and municipalities consists of municipal members, and corporations consists of mayors. This is the division of local self-government in India. How the constitution is adopted the Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system means on the advices of Balwant Rai Mehta committee in 1957, we attaches the Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system in our constitution. By the attachment of Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system, the 11th and 12th schedules are attaches to our constitution. Okay, again we recapitulate the lesson from first salient feature. A first salient feature is lengthy. Okay. First salient feature, again we can recapitulate. The first salient feature, lengthy and written document. In lengthy and written document, the main important points are the comparison with our constitution is compared with the constitution of USA and Britain. In the time of inauguration of our Indian constitution contains of the 395 articles with 8 schedules. It is then divided into 22 parts. But now our constitution got several amendments. Now our constitution contains of 448 articles with 12 schedules. It is then running up to then 300 pages. But in USA, the USA constitution contains of 7 articles with 3 pages. The next one, a combination of rigidity and flexibility. The Constitution of India introduced the rigidity and flexibility by the 368th article. By the observing of the amending procedures, we can simply say the constitution is rigid or flexible. Okay, rigid or flexible. Amending procedures are divided into 3 types. Those are simple majority of the parliament, special majority of the parliament, and special majority of the parliament with state ratification. The next one, quasi-federal polity. In the quasi-federal polity, if the powers are In the quasi-federal polity, if the powers are distributed, if the powers are distributed among the union and state, that is called as federal, and as well as the powers are not distributed and powers are concentrated on single hand, means the powers are totally concentrate on union, that is called as unitary. The Constitution of India is federal, that is why the powers are distributed among the three lists, those are centralist, state list and concurrent list. This is called federal, but the most of the powers are vested with the hands of union, this is called as unitary. The Constitution of India is federal in form, unitary in spirit, as well as we see the features of federal. Federal features are rigid constitution, written constitution, supremacy of the constitution, division of powers and independency of judiciary. These 5 are treated as the features of federal and features of unitary. Unitary features are single citizenship, single constitution, and during the time of emergencies, these features are, hello sir, hello sir, what's your doubt, sir? Hello sir, tell me sir, what you
good afternoon andi.
Good afternoon sir.
Vizag district.
Okay sir.
How many members in our Lok Sabha?
Now our parliament sir, 443 members sir.
443.
Sir.
543 ka sir?
Sir?
543 sir. Hello?
Sir, in our civics guide, 443 is mentioned sir.
543.
Sorry sir, 543 is correct sir.
Okay. How many members?
Okay, the features of unitary. Hello? Hello sir.
Hello?
Tell me sir.
How many members in our Rajya Sabha?
In Rajya Sabha sir?
Yes sir.
250 sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay sir. Okay, features of unitary: single citizenship, single constitution, and override on the state matters during the time of emergencies. Emergencies mean 3 types, those are 352, 356 and 360. National emergency, constitutional emergency and financial emergencies. And appointments of governors are also vested in the hands of central government. These are the features of unitary. By the next one.
Code. अस्तित्व में नहीं.
Hello.
మీరు డయల్ చేసిన
The next feature, republican form of government. Unlike our colonial master, we adopted the republican form of government. Here I am clarified one doubt to all of us, that is, all the democracies are not republics. Means, for example, we take in the Britain government is one of the largest democratical country in the world, but it is a not republican country. How do you say that country is not republic? Means the head of the nation assume his office through by the hereditary principles. That's why that country is called as not republican country. Our country is called as republican state. How do you say all the democracy? How do you say ours is a republican state? Means all the public office are too open to eligible citizens, and there is no place for hereditary principles. Hello? Okay. And also our head of the nation assume his office through by the elections by means of electoral college. The next one, parliamentary form of government. We adopted the parliamentary form of government like Britain type with an elected president of high risk model. There is another strong reason to adopted the parliamentary form of government in place of the presidential form of government. In the parliamentary form of government, the powers as distributed among the several ministers to exercise their duties. But in presidential form of government, the powers are not distributed. The powers are not distributed among the ministers, and the powers are concentrated on single hand. That's why we adopted the parliamentary form of government in place of the presidential form of government. The next salient feature is fundamental rights and fundamental duties. Fundamental rights incorporated in our constitution in part 3 from article number 12 to 36 fundamental rights are divided into 6 types. Those are right to equality. Hello sir.
Explain about it, single citizenship.
What sir?
Explain about it, single citizenship.
Single citizenship.
1 second.
Okay sir. Every federal provision means every federal state have dual citizenship. We take an example as USA. USA is also federal provision. That's why they are introducing the dual citizenship. For example, if the citizen of New York, he treated as a citizen of New York and also citizen of USA. But in India, irrespective of their states and regions, they are treated as a citizen of India, and they enjoyed all type of rights and privileges in all parts of in our country. Okay sir. Okay sir. And fundamental rights are divided into 6 types. Those are right to equality, right to freedom, and right to against exploitation, right to freedom of religion and educational cultural rights, and right to constitutional remedies. From the fundamental rights, one right is abolished, that is right to property. By the 44th constitutional amendment in 1978, the right to property is abolished from the fundamental rights. Next, the fundamental duties. Fundamental duties incorporated by the 42nd constitutional amendment. Those are existed in part 4 from the 51st constitution, 51th article. Example for the fundamental duties, those are to respect our national anthem, to respect our national flag, and to respect our national struggle leaders. Single citizenship. The single citizenship. Hello.
Hello, sir. My name is Civics.
Yes, madam.
Sir, my name is Sivaranjini from Arakveli APR College.
Okay, madam. What's your doubt?
Sir, what is can you explain
Secular state, madam.
urban development?
Urban development.
Yes, sir.
Urban development, madam.
Yes,
Urban development. Urban development is depends upon the corporations and municipalities. That's why the urban local self government is divided into 3 types. Those are wards, municipalities, and corporations. By the orders were given by the mayor, and they are developed their cities and develop their urban areas. Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Tell me, ma'am. What's your doubt?
I am calling from Seethampeta Girls College.
Okay. Tell me.
What is meant by bicameralism?
What?
What is meant by bicameralism? Repeat again.
Bicameralism. Bicameralism means when the parliament consists of dual houses called bicameral system. Now our constitution contains of dual houses means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. This is called bicameral system. Okay. Single citizenship. We adopted the single citizenship. And though the India as a federal state, we adopted the single citizenship. As usually, every federal provisions are consists of dual citizenship. But we are introducing the single citizenship, though we are in federal inform. In example, the USA is an also federal state. They are introducing the dual citizenship on their countries, but in India, irrespective of their caste, irrespective of their states, they are treated as a citizen of India, and they enjoyed all types of rights and privileges without a discrimination in all parts of in our country. Secular state means all the religions are equal in the eyes of law. There is no official religion to the states. All the religions are equal in the eyes of law. There is no official religion to the states. Indian constitution is abolished the communal representation. Communal representation means the seats were allotted on the basis of religion, and it is ensured the advocate representation to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people. By the 62nd constitutional amendment, there is a combined national commission appointed by the central government to protect the interests of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people. In 1990s, by the 2002, again the central government appoints two separate commissions for SC and STs to protect their interests. The next, universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise means nothing but right to vote. It is referred by article number 326. One who complete 18 years of age, he should given right to vote without discrimination by his caste, creed, color, gender and wealth. It is enhances the self-respect and prestige for the common people by the lay down the principle of one person, one vote, one value. Independent judiciary system. Independent judiciary system. It is a safeguard to protect the rights and privileges of the common people and prevent the encroachment of legislatures and executives. It is protect the supremacy. Of the constitution and the Supreme Court has power to declare the null and voids and ultra voids in the time of unconstitutional enactment made by Parliament. And all the courts of in India worked under the supervisions of Supreme Court. Directive principles of state policy. Those are incorporated in Part 4 from article number 36 to 51, and directive principles of state policy is treated as the directive to the state government and central government. Any responsible government ignores the directive principles of state policy. The directive principles of state policy is divided into three types. Those are socio-economical principles, liberal and intellectual principles, and Gandhian principles. The next salient feature is bicameral system. The Constitution of India is introduced the bicameral system at national level and state level. That's why our parliament consists of dual houses. Those are Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. and Lok Sabha is known as lower house and Rajya Sabha is known as upper house. Rajya Sabha is known as upper house and Rajya Sabha is also known as a house of intellectuals. The last one, Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system. By the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments, we gave the recognition to the local self-governing system. Local self-governing system is divided into urban local self-government and rural local self-government. When have not this type of local self-governing body is not founded any other constitutions in the world. And by the recommendations of Balwantaraya Mehta committee we are attaches the Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalika system and local self-governing system in our constitution. In 1957, my heartfelt thank to our Honorable Secretary Ramulu sir and Deputy Secretary of Academic S. Lakshman Rao sir and Joint Secretary Devara Vasu sir. Thank you for this giving the rarest opportunity to me, and I am thank to my principal Ganesh Rao sir and my teacher Murali Bab sir. Thank you.